When, as the American people, are we going to stop, stand up, and really fight for our rights? At this point, it doesn't matter, because even though I'm 23 in July, I'm pretty self-aware, and I think I'm a pretty intelligent guy, and I have seen, even since I was a child, how disgusting and how much of a liar these people are. I mean, even both sides. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. They're all the fucking same.
Future, the United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. To those countries that can't get fuel, go to the Strait and just take it.
The last good president we ever had was John F. Kennedy. I mean, we can't keep letting these people fuck us over time and time again, send trillions to Israel, and fight in a war that we have no reason to be in, and genocide people that we don't need to genocide. Why do we have to continuously listen to fat, wrinkled raisins of human beings who blabble on about nonsensical shit?
Tonight I'm making a little speech at 9 o'clock, and basically I'm going to tell everybody how great I am.
That we have not been able to see or hear from any of the Iranian people. Do you have any insight as to how they are doing? Do they have drinking water? Do they have food?
Right, I do.
It's upsetting.
I do. But first, you remember when we had lunch years ago in the base of Trump Tower when it was a brand new building?
It's a long time ago, yes.
A long time ago. You haven't changed.
Oh.
You have not changed. Now, I'm not allowed to say this. It's the end of my political career, but you may be even better looking, okay? So I don't know what
To 3 weeks, we're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
Basically told him that if he did that, they would also strike power plants in the region too. I am pleased to report that the United States of America and the country of Iran have had, over the last 2 days, very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East. Based on the tenor and tone of these in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations, which there, Mr. President, will continue throughout the week, I have instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants and infrastructure for a 5-day period, subject to the success of the ongoing meetings and discussions. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And I'll be honest, that would all be really quite dandy if the Iranian government didn't come out immediately after to deny such productive conversations had taken place. The president's decision was aimed in part at calming markets, according to people familiar with the matter, and immediately spurred a sharp fall in Brent crude and rebound in the S&P 500 and US Treasury, a new threshold by targeting civilian energy infrastructure, which would likely constitute a war crime, intending to commit war crimes against the people of Iran. We say our grievances aren't with the people who live there, that we actually want to help liberate them by getting rid of an oppressive regime, but going after their power plants? That's undoubtedly going to have catastrophic consequences for regular, everyday civilians. It's called collective punishment, and it's a war crime under Article 33 of the 4th Geneva Convention. Not that we haven't been complicit in such vile crimes in the past, though, like the time our closest ally happily gloated about shutting off electricity, water, food, and fuel to the millions of people living in Gaza a few years ago. Did we rescind our critical support for the belligerent state back then? I think you know the answer, since here we are fighting their war for them.
We went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay? Right? You know, he's asking me, no, you believe in surprise, I think much more so than us. And we had to surprise him, and we did. And because of that surprise, we knocked out, the first 2 days, we probably knocked out 50% of what we, and much more than we anticipated doing. So
all of this would be his reaction to Robert Mueller's death from over the weekend. Robert Mueller just died. Good. I am glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. The innocent people he's referring to being himself, of course. Plus, for years, these guys used to say the Mueller report actually exonerated Trump of any wrongdoing. Now we're glad he's dead? We should also keep in mind that this is the same administration that went after people for comments they made about Charlie Kirk's assassination just a few months ago. I guess all those moral reservations are out the window now, huh? Or they just never existed to begin with.
But if you celebrate Charlie Kirk's death, you should not be protected from being fired for being a disgusting person. If you're a university professor who benefits from American tax dollars, you should not be celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. And if you are, maybe you should lose your job or your university should face a loss of funding. You ought to pay some consequences for it. And the American people are rising up against that evil. It's a great thing to see.
I shouldn't have to tell you that this is not what competent leadership looks like. Retaliation was, even Netanyahu tried to say Israel acted alone, which Israeli officials have said is bullshit. We did know about the attacks and we let them happen because we let Israel do whatever the fuck they want, whenever the fuck they want. I mean, we let them goad us into this war. No thanks to Senator Lindsey Graham.
Well, history proves that, unfortunately and unhappily, Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. Because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Aggression will overcome moderation.
What an odd thing to say.
The United States, where we've pursued an energy dominance agenda, you've got a lot of people all over the world who have focused on a lot of green energy scams, and they're hurting a lot more than we are. So as much as we got to focus on getting these gas prices down, the reality is overseas they're feeling it far worse than we did because we've taken the steps to protect our energy economy.
You see, guys, we have to suffer, and that's good actually, because at least the people we don't like are suffering even more. Hey, I got an idea, you bloated hog. How about just no suffering? Should we try that?
I mean, I've had to sit here and watch my home country, my beloved country, that's supposed to be welcoming, that's supposed to be the greatest country on earth, when they're not even arresting people who are implicated in Epstein files, who, diddled children, prostitutes. I mean, these people are not good people. They're disgusting and they're horrible and they follow evil. And yet, time and time again, we go to the voting table and put down our vote on both wings, right? Or either wing, even though we all know they're attached to the same fucking bird, and all they're doing is they're getting paid by us to fuck us over. Send trillions over to Israel so the giant Israel lobby here in America can pay them back that money. I had hope back in 2016 when Donald Trump was saying all of the good things, or when J.D. Vance was saying some good things. But look, guys, they're all the fucking same, and they all say the same shit all of the time. Or they don't say anything at all, and they let criminals get away with the worst crimes possible, and then they sit down and shut their mouth and follow orders because they want their future to be secure. They don't want their futures to be detrimental, even though they all know, we know, and we're probably going to stand up at some point. Whether it's today, it will be tomorrow at some point. I mean, these people are so fucking disgusting, right? That they're willing to lie to our faces, say, oh, we're gonna fix everything, and then they go and make it fucking worse by starting wars with people we don't need to start shit with. They've been saying, Bibi Netanyahu, Satan Yahoo, has been saying for 30 fucking years that Iran has a nuclear bomb and that they're an imminent threat to Israel.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 days.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a day.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
So they're a week away from a bomb 30 years later? How? How have these people not had a nuclear bomb within 30 fucking years? And besides the nuclear bomb, nobody on Earth deserves a nuclear bomb. Not the United States, not Russia, not Pakistan, not Iraq, not Afghanistan, not any country deserves a nuclear fucking bomb, okay? Because we're all brothers and sisters. We all came from Africa. The only reason why I'm white and that dude's black and that dude's brown is because a long time ago, one tribe or 3 tribes or 10 tribes of Africans left Africa, decided to expand the world and take over continents. Then they ran into other human races, and then they fucked them, and then they went extinct, and there was multiple cataclysmic events that further separated the human race so long that adaptations to the environment, physical adaptations, not genetic, physical adaptations to the environment appeared, spawning the different races of man. So I'm pretty aware of that. I'm pretty smart when it comes to that stuff. And yet we all act tribal still, we all act primitive still, and we also have a high chance of bombing ourselves to extinction. Yet every single day we get closer and closer to World War III. If there is a World War III, that will be the end of the human race. And I'm not saying we need to unite and we need to tolerate and blah 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 blah. I'm saying the only reason we should go to war is if there's genuine evil. If there's genuine evil. There is no other reason to go to war other than to defend your friends from evil, not to do your friends evil. We're not trying to go to war for Israel, because we all know that Israel, not Jews, Israel, because there's a difference there. Israel government, the Israel lobby are Zionistic Jews. They're not real Jews. It even says that in the Bible, that there will be fake Jews and then there will be real Jews, people who actually believe in Jesus Christ. These people follow Satan. If you believe in Satan, or if you don't, then they follow evil. If you believe in the universe, these people are the worst people ever on the planet. Is Zionistic Israelite. They're not good people. They go to other countries, they take it over, they steal their money, and I mean, if you do a little bit of research, right, all the companies that run the world, like BlackRock and Vanguard, they're all have ties to Israel. They all have ties to Israel, right? Bibi Netanyahu has been basically a dictator of Israel for 30 fucking plus years, and he's been trying to start this war for fucking 40 plus years with Iran, and he's trying to drag the United States into it because he knows the United States is the only fucking superpower that gives a fuck about Israel. And time again, ever since John F. Kennedy, because John F. Kennedy was the only one that spoke out against AIPAC, ever since John F. Kennedy, every president since then has been a fucking cock-sucking, foot-sucking, the worst type of pandering you can ever imagine, giving all of our money away. We haven't had a good president in a long time. In like 70, or in like 50, 60, 70 years, we haven't had a good president. Every president has lied straight through their teeth. Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. They've all lied and made things worse. Over time, the debt ceiling has climbed. Over time, buying a house, buying a car is becoming increasingly impossible for the younger generation, because if you're younger, you're a hell of a lot more likely to have no money at all, okay? One generation has all of the wealth, which is the boomer class, and it hasn't been done since and hasn't been seen since, right? And all of the people who are in power are either boomers or people who are implicated in horrible shit, you know, humiliation rituals, all that. They're all in bed together. Entertainment, politics, all of it, they're all intertwined on one pillar. I don't understand why we haven't, as a people, stood up and done anything about it, right? Because I can't stop paying taxes, or my door's gonna come flying in, the FBI is gonna come fucking kill me, or arrest me. Right? I can't speak out against certain people, or else Mossad's gonna come blast through my fucking door if I become too famous and arrest me, or debunk me, or try to make me seem like I'm insane or whatever. Like, people don't understand the lengths that these people will go to keep power, when all we need to do is grab our fucking guns out of our safe, walk up to our government and say, all right, what are you gonna do now? Because I guarantee you 90% of the military saw what happened with the Marine, where they shattered his arm.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
The war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows your exemptness as leaders. This is wrong.
And those 5-star generals didn't do nothing. They were just sitting there looking forward, not even moving. And all he said was, I don't want to go die for Israel. And they shattered his fucking arm. I guarantee you there's a lot of people in the military that aren't too happy about that. That would probably stand against the government. But one man against a fucking $100 trillion plus federal government, that's not gonna work. It has to be all of us as a collective. Stand up and say, no more. We're done. We want our freedom back. We want to be able to buy a home off of working in a factory if I want to. If I want to go work in a factory, give my time away. I want to be able to come home to a house and a kid and have nice things for my kids and have a decent car. Like, I'm not asking for very much, but not 30 years ago, you could go work in a factory for 20 bucks an hour, 30 bucks an hour without having to fucking work 12 hours a day and have a decent living. You know, you could make a decent living 15, 20 years ago off that. But you can't anymore because everything is skyrocketed through the fucking atmosphere. The reason why I haven't brought many names in this other than the president and the vice president and, you know, recent presidents is because I believe that people are so tribal and they're so scared and they're so fearful of what's going to happen around the corner that they don't know what's real or what's fake, right? So they don't know what president is telling the truth. They don't know what president is actually being real when it's literally all of them in both sides of the spectrum that are lying, and both sides are working together. I mean, there's been multiple times that Obama and Trump have been seen together, and these two are supposed to hate each other, right? Why the fuck are they talking to each other? How come these people act like it's one big club? It's because it is. It's one big fucking club. So I'm asking you guys to stop and think. And if your family is so tribal, like mine is, like my grandparents won't listen to me. So if you guys have that same problem in your family, you need to really sit them down and show them the evidence from non-biased sources. Fuck CNN because they're biased. Fuck Fox News because they're biased. All these news sources biased. Go to a unbiased source, right? And show them direct evidence of this horrible shit these people have been doing. And I almost guarantee you, if they have somewhat of a brain and there's not a goddamn fucking nut in their brain, then they will change their mind. Because I used to think that Donald Trump was telling the truth. I used to think that Obama was okay. I used to think that maybe Ronald Reagan was alright. No, all of them fucking suck. Every last one of them have been trash. And we're not even going to talk about Joe Biden, because the dude was a brain-dead motherfucker by the time he even came to office. He was brain-dead upon arrival, guys. Alright, anyway, that's about it. See ya.
Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island? But the law. Suppose they... No. There is no. It's... They never come back. Boys! I'm a man of my word.